Hey, welcome to Guitar Knobs, the guitars, gear, noise, and nonsense podcast, hosted today by these knobs.
Hello, I am Chris Graham.
Jeff Fischer.
And I'm Todd Novak. Welcome to Guitar Knobs, the awesomestness.
The best.
Yes. We are down two of our normal knobs. So Aaron and Jay weren't able to join us today. They are both indisposed, but we have returning hero guest knob Chris Graham, mastering engineer extraordinaire.
Would you say that the normal knob's standby switch is engaged?
Damn, you've been thinking of that one.
That was 30 seconds in the making,
Yeah.
at least.
We just for funsies, we had to start over because see, we've got a clean lyric label on iTunes, and we were just discussing how rarely do we curse on microphone, not necessarily out of restraint, but it's just weird because we determined that microphones are kind of like parents, maybe.
My grandma might hear this.
Yeah.
She cusses, though.
Yeah.
She's great. Gaga.
You call her, oh boy.
She's awesome. She's 92 years young.
Nice.
Anyways.
Does she play?
No, but one of my guitars she gave me.
That's awesome.
It's from like 1900. It's cool.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Is it still playable?
Yeah, all the time.
Wow.
Did we talk about that?
We did. It has a pair of cherubim on the front.
That's right.
Yeah.
Didn't know if it was like another 1900 guitar.
Nope.
Hey, speaking of weird 1900, like super old instruments, I just got from my folks this old like Appalachian handmade mandolin.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Is it an F or an A style? Does it have a curly Q on it, or is it shaped like a teardrop?
Oh, it's teardrop.
Aha.
It's teardrop with a oval sound hole and like a flat headstock, like a flat style headstock,
cool.
like a melody maker.
How thick is the body? Sorry, I'm fascinated.
Maybe about 2.5 inches, maybe 3 tops.
Gotcha.
I'll bring it in.
Do it. Sounds like a
Because I don't know what to do with it, but it's got awesome wear on the neck, and it's like a pointy D. It's a V-neck. It's not a pointy D. It's
like
a pointy D. That's all kinds of other things.
Indeed.
But it's a triangle neck profile. It's very interesting, and it's legit old. It's definitely legit old. Anyways, this is not the mandolin show. Okay, dudes, what is new with us this episode? Chris. Oh wait, go ahead, Chris Graham.
Okay. This past weekend, me and my family, I got 2 boys and a little girl, we went down to Virginia to a Young Life camp for the weekend, which was super fun. And we stopped in Athens, Ohio, and went to the Blue Eagle, one of the most fantastic guitar stores in the world. It's very small and full of vintage instruments, and a lovely gentleman named Frank runs it. And I took my boys in there, and my sons insisted on getting a green ukulele, and my son has been having alone time with ukulele.
Whoa.
And he's like really playing it. He's like 5. It's been very exciting.
So you became that person who does go into the awesome music store to buy the painted ukulele.
Well, whatever you got to do to get your kid to think it's cool to go and be by yourself and play the guitar.
That's fair.
It was very exciting.
I did that. You got the ukuleles, and then got a junior size guitar, and then got a strap. But it's like, you can't just make it a strap. So I got little embroidered iron-on stars, put them on the strap, try to make it cool.
This is for your kids?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, they dig it. Yeah, you got to do that. You got to do that.
That's awesome.
They didn't have like a lightning bolt strap at that size, so actually they had no straps at that size. So, yeah. So
Sounds like a new product to be developed. Kid straps.
Little kid Ace Frehley straps.
Yeah.
Nice.
Kidstraps.com. Buy that right now before this is
I know, right? Anything else?
For me,
Is that a store that you frequent?
oh yes, I went to OU, and this guy Frank.
What is that for anybody that doesn't live
Ohio University.
not the Ohio State
No,
University?
it's the Ohio
for
University.
Ohio State University.
It's it's mediocrely prestigious.
Pretty sure you may have offended everyone that went there.
Probably they would agree, though. I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's in the heart of Appalachia, and there's
Is that Appalachia or Appalachia?
I mean, I think it depends on who you ask. Most pronunciations in Appalachia depend on who you ask.
Okay.
So
As a West Coast kid, I'm still learning so much about Ohio.
it's a strange and glorious place.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guitar shop is just, I mean, it's like the stuff of dreams. It's like this old guy named Frank who, like, he can just play the guitar like nobody's business. And he picked up the ukulele and shredded it in front of my kids. And they were like, whoa. That sold the ukulele on the spot.
That's cool.
Yeah. It was like
Which is also cool that he wasn't, he was like, hey, look, you're probably going to buy a ukulele, a painted one
Yeah.
for your little kid.
I've bought a lot of stuff from Frank over the years.
What's the coolest thing you bought from Frank over the years?
A Shub partial capo.
What? Explain.
A partial capo.
A schlub?
SCHUBB, I believe is how you spell it. But a partial capo only touches 3 strings. It's your second, third, and fourth string on your second fret. And it essentially makes your guitar tuned in dadgad relative. It's not actually in dadgad, but it's higher than that. So you can do a lot of the things that you would do in dadgad and play standard chords and bar chords and whatnot.
Yeah.
And you can do wild and crazy and fantastical things. And it makes it easier to play. So a lot of the chords in dadgad are one finger.
Right.
So you can take a kid that's never played guitar, put a partial capo on it, and then he sounds like a pro.
It's kind of like
Or an adult, you can do that too.
Adults also.
That's what you can do with
Yeah.
Open G too.
Yeah.
Like one finger, I mean, everything you do is going to sound like the Rolling Stones, which is not bad, but
Indeed. It's fantastic. I highly recommend the Shub partial
the
capo.
dadgad.
Yeah. It's a nice, like, $15, holy crap, new worlds have opened to me when I snap this thing on my guitar neck
I
thing.
might have to get that,
I highly recommend it.
or break one of my other capos.
The other thing you can get is the G7th brand partial capo, which is far superior and twice the price. It's wonderful. It's a Cadillac of partial capos.
The Cadillac of partial capos, a coveted place in the partial capo world.
It is. It is. If
We'll never be the Cadillac.
They're great, but yeah, both the Shub and the G7 are tension adjustable. So the typical Kaiser spring-loaded capo doesn't work great, even though they have a partial capo that you can use. But because the tension is not adjustable, it throws your intonation out when it's on just a few strings. So the Shub, far superior. The G7th, even more far superior.
The capo thing, it's weird how many capos there are out there.
It's true.
It's another one of those, like, I'm going to do this little gadget my way. Interesting. And then just for anybody listening, we said dadgad a whole bunch, but to be clear,
that's DADGAD on your guitar. Try it; it's amazing. Or if you want to be less fancy, DAD F sharp AD. Did I say that right?
Is that a silent F in dadgad?
Dad fad. Dad for fad.
Yeah,
it's gorgeous. It's a chord, so you can. It works for metal and for folk music.
That's cool. Well, those are the same thing. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
So, what is the Ford Pinto of partial capos?
That would be the Kaiser brand.
The Kaiser brand.
Partial capo. No offense to the Kaiser people; they kind of started the whole decent capo movement, but you have to be able to adjust your tension on a partial capo, or your intonation dies.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's super interesting. I just saw a capo the other day that was it was a full bar, but it had little arms, so you could select which strings you wanted capoed.
That's cool.
It's like, wow, that's some trickery right there. I don't know what they have. I mean, you pretty much got to be messing around with a lot of different tunings to really need something like that, I would imagine.
The cool thing about capos like that is, especially like in folk acoustic guitar, depending on how you're using the capo, you have a wider range chromatically of notes that you can hit. Because if you put the capo up on, say, you can do the same thing with the partial capo on the 4th fret, and then if you play a C chord, it's actually an E chord at that point, but you get the low E in it as well, and the last 2 strings ring open.
Oh, yeah, so it's all droney.
Yeah, very, very droney, but then so you can be playing very high notes and very low notes at the same time, and they are in tune with one another. And then when you're doing this...
Or if you like to play Soundgarden.
This is true. Or Goo Goo Dolls, I think, might do some of this. But I didn't say that.
Just threw up in my mouth.
We'll edit that out later. But all of a sudden, all your harmonics are also in tune with what you're playing when you're using a partial capo. So you can bing, bing, and it sounds pretty.
I had no idea I was going to learn like so much about capos right now.
I love
That's amazing.
partial capos. It's one of my passions in life.
I tell you what, I'll bring in my my mandolin.
Deal?
And you bring in your partial capo, and we'll do a little swabby poo and see if if you can get any sound out of that mandolin, that'd be super awesome.
I built one time.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah. This one's definitely I believe it's definitely handmade. I could be wrong. I'm not a super antique acoustic instrument expert.
I think mandolins are awesome because I think it's the most compatible instrument with the guitar that you can just pick up, even more so than a bass, I think. Because a bass requires very different rhythmic skill than a guitar to play. But a mandolin, you can still use a pick.
Yeah.
You know?
I think it's crazy when you see some like, a big giant barrel-chested sausage-fingered dude shredding on a mandolin. And you're like,
I aspire to be a barrel-chested sausage-fingered dude shredding on a mandolin.
So you're doing your finger push-ups every night?
Yes, every night.
Jeff just tried to exit stage wall out the back right there. Jeff, what do you got going on new?
So not necessarily doing anything, but
that's a good start.
Got hooked into the DIY conversations from the other week.
Uh-huh.
And came across a DIY site for making recording gear.
Holy moly.
There's some cool stuff out there for that.
Yeah, so there's a site I was looking at that has like all these amazing things you can make. So not that I need any of those, but it was very interesting. But it then also took me onto the other path of build your own microphone.
What?
So yeah, a whole nother site on modifying or building your own microphone, which was, again, hours of fun reading, just trying to figure out, do I really even need this? No.
You're a manual porn guy. Like,
yeah,
that sounded terrible. What I mean is,
I do it all manually.
I'm using that word in the sense of like, oh, it's food porn, it's guitar porn, but it's manual.
There goes the clean rating.
The manuals. Like, I can imagine you'll crawl into a corner with an Afghan and a cup of Earl Grey and just pour through some manuals.
I've been known to do that, yes.
I knew it. Hilarious.
I was thrown out of a car audio store at one time because I just kept berating the guy with the signal noise ratio on the amps. I'm like, no, your number is wrong. That's not what it says in the manual. He's like, why don't you just leave? So,
really? That's awesome.
He was a friend, so it wasn't so bad.
No.
But yeah, so I'm like looking at all these candy things to make that I don't really need.
Yeah.
So
why don't you make some stuff for me?
We may.
I get you all kinds of stuff to bake me.
Yeah, you don't need any recording stuff. You want to make noise things.
Yeah, I need noise makers.
Of course, a microphone is a noise maker.
Yeah. I got a sweet mic, though. I love my mic.
That's right.
Yeah.
What mic do you have?
I got the Shure 55. Yeah. I don't want.
Sure is.
Jeez. Okay. So are you not going to make a handmade microphone?
Undecided.
We got the 3D printer here too, man. You could do some cool like housing for it or something.
Maybe. The one that was pulling at my heartstrings a little bit was just a simple DIY box, the DIY interface. Sorry. To run guitar straight into a computer interface or something like that. It's just another way to manually do it. Sorry, DI box, not DIY. DI box, direct input box. Sorry.
I like the fact that that's something that you want to build that for no real reason that requires lots of manuals is tugging at your heartstrings. That says a lot about you.
Well, I was just reading a review of Neve just came out with a direct box. That's getting like rave reviews. It's like $260.
That's sort of like NASA building a car. You know?
Yeah, so it's got to be amazing, right?
Yeah.
And again, I don't need it, but it sounds fascinating.
Or it's like the CEO of SpaceX build a car.
Right. Oh wait. Yeah.
That's a real thing.
Yeah. Someday it will be a real thing. So, okay, for normal listeners or normal who are used to the normal knob setup here, I am in a room with two recording nerds. And so there's a little bit of a different vibe tonight. Lots of numbers and circuitry things and, yeah, all that's floating around.
I don't know.
And one of our inputs on our MIDI broke, so they're sharing a mic, and it's hilarious watching the interplay between that.
It was uncomfortable when it got slightly.
Yeah, you're awful close. Break out the chapstick, guys.
I'm getting closer. I'm closer. Alan,
okay. Anyways, back to me. So what did I do this past week? Let me tell you. So I've got a gig bag that I've had for. This is going to sound hilarious, but my grandmother bought it for me in Mexico when I was like 16. It wasn't going to be a gig bag. It's just it's a black leather duffel bag, and it's just got lots of pockets. And
does it have $100,000 in it?
I know,
that'd
right?
Be cool.
I got a great visual of that. I wish it had 100,000, but it doesn't. It just has all of my random gear in it. Cables, all the stuff that you need for
your everything
rehearsing, gigging, home stuff. But it's all black. So I feel like, when you hear women say, I can't find anything in this purse. It's like that. I have to take everything out to find anything in it. And I just said, I need a better way to do this. And I didn't really want to go shell out a crap ton of money on I know that a lot of people they'll use like photography backpacks or photography duffel bags and stuff like that because it's really easy to keep your coils or your cables separate and stuff like that.
That's a really good idea. I've never heard of that before. I might need to look into that.
Yeah, well, I don't know if a lot of people do it. I think I saw like one guy had posted that.
One guy does it.
I just assumed.
Was he a
there
photographer?
Were more. Yeah. So what I did, I hit my favorite thing in the world, Craigslist, and found a guy who just happened to be getting rid of some Pelican case style things. It's not an actual Pelican case, but it's similar. And the only thing was I picked it up for,
was it a cabbage case?
$10. No, it's all plastic. Cabbage case is
they're a local company here in Columbus, Ohio.
It might be. I don't know. I'll have to look at that. I haven't spent like a ton of time with it yet. I saw it online and he wanted $10 for it. I was like, yeah, I got to go get that. And he was actually in my neighborhood, so I went and got it. But the foam in it was
oh no,
is totally jacked.
Is there a cat pee in that too?
No, there's no cat pee in that one. I have a history of getting things with like cat pee and beer on it. You'll have to listen to the episode we're about to release that features a whole story about that. But so yeah, the foam is dilapidated, so I'm trying to pull it out, and it was all glued in at the bottom, and I'm like, God. And foam, I don't know if everybody knows it out there, but foam is really expensive to buy. Just foam. I went to a local shop that would have that, craft store, and I was stunned at how much just like a foam slab is. I mean, it's like $40 for a very small foam slab. They've got all kinds of thicknesses and densities and everything. And if you want to go the route of like a gun case or something where you can pull out the individual squares, then it's like, that's totally up there. So I may have to actually just abandon this case. I don't want to spend $60 for foam on a $10 case.
I have a gross solution.
Lay it on me.
You bought a used memory foam mattress on Craigslist.
That's awful.
and you could use, this is the proper tool, a reciprocating turkey knife.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
To cut it up.
Yeah, well, that's what you cut foam with.
And then you would have someone's old bed.
That's
in
terrible.
Your guitar bag.
That would go well with my cat pee
rock and roll
bass. I mean, that would be perfect, actually.
It would.
It probably smells better, too.
Yeah.
You have to make sure it's from someone attractive.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, another thing that I thought of a reason to get rid of the bag is because if I'm taking it to a gig, it's one of those things that someone can so easily just walk out with because it's just a black bag. And so I was like, I need something that is a little bit that I can at least label because I can't labeling a soft leather, short of spray painting it, which I could do, but I don't know. My grandma gave it to me, Anyways, okay. So that's what that's all that about.
It's a lot of that.
That's a lot of that. We're going to move on to our topic, our main topic of the day, of the episode, and that is boutique guitars, boutique guitar makers. Oh boy, it's late in the day. Everybody, give me a break. Boutique guitar makers is one of my favorite things. Some construction just started above us, so we're getting all kinds of weird noises.
Sounds like some manual porn going on.
Yeah. Anyways,
I didn't laugh at that. I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
I did. I laughed at that.
So, boutique guitar makers, for anybody who is spending time on Instagram, especially, it's like, ooh, it is so great just scrolling through and saying, oh, what's that one? What's this one? What's that one? And I feel like the last maybe 2 years, along with pedals, has been just a super explosion in boutique guitar making. Not making, but at least the awareness of them. Obviously, people have been doing that for a long time. So now that it doesn't require the same kind of marketing as music gear has in the past, and we all have access to everything on the planet instantly, it feels just like a complete influx of them. So I thought that we could maybe talk about a couple that we have found super interesting. We haven't made contact with any of these people, any of these makers, but I imagine we will pretty soon, as we've been lining up a lot of interviews and stuff lately. So, anyways, Chris, would you like to lead us out on this?
Yeah. So I'm always kind of the weird guy. I love electric guitars, but frankly, I love acoustic guitars maybe a little bit more. So bringing that spin today, my most lusted after guitar, boutique guitar, would be a Jim Olsen guitar. They, with no frills, start at $15,000.
What?
And Jim Olsen is this fascinating guy. So he was making guitars on his own in the late 70s up in Minnesota. and then a guitarist by the name of Phil Kagi began playing his guitars.
Oh, yeah.
And Phil Kagi is bonkers good.
Yeah.
Just dumb good. And through that, James Taylor heard about Jim Olsen, and then James Taylor started using his guitars, and now that blew him up. So he's enormous. So like, let's see here. Paul McCartney plays one. David Wilcox plays one. He's a real popular folk guy. James Taylor. Sting has an Olsen guitar.
Clint Black.
They're so very fancy. I've never seen one or touched one, and I probably never will. But I talked to Jim Olsen one time on the phone because I wanted to get one when I was in college, and then he was like, "Hey, they start at $10,000 back then." I was like, "Oh yeah, cool."
Lou Reed, Graham Nash.
Yeah, but this guy's he is like the dude in the boutique acoustic guitar world, and just crazy.
So what is it about him that you?
He's just really good at it, I guess. Really good at making them, and he uses the. I don't.
That's the number one qualifier.
Yeah.
Number one qualifier of choosing your boutique guitarist of choice. He's really good at it.
He's real good at making them guitars. But yeah, he uses.
He's got a guitar manual.
He's got uses obviously fantastic woods, and a lot of it is brand recognition. James Taylor and kind of the folk acoustic guitar scene is about the bee's knees as it gets, and so is Phil Kagi. So if it's good enough for them,
yeah,
good enough for me. But they're fantastic. And what else was I going to say? He makes 40 guitars a year, just him.
Wait, 40 guitars a year at $15,000 minimum?
Minimum.
Somebody out there, please do the math on that before my head explodes.
Yeah, he's doing okay.
Jiminy cripes.
But he's a genius. And
they're pretty beautiful guitars.
Mm-hmm.
What I think is interesting, I'm noticing on some of them as I am acting as Minister of Information today. I'm pulling up some of them, and the headstocks, the back of the headstock is the only thing that's painted, which is really cool.
Too. Yeah, he's something else.
There you go. That's wild. So obviously they must sound pretty amazing.
Yeah, a good record to listen to hear an Olsen guitar is Phil Kagi's Beyond Nature. It's all acoustic, but this dude shreds on this record. It is real good.
That is one thing I probably would not normally ever seek out remotely. Phil Kagi's Beyond Nature.
Yeah. Anyways, the record is really, really good, and it's if you like folk, it's amazing. If you like face-melting guitar solos, it's amazing. So Phil Kagi was in this band, Glass Harp, in the 70s, and they were...
Also, totally prohibitive title for me, too. Oh, Glass Harp.
But Tell me more. It was like a jam band, like psychedelic rock thing, and then he
I get it. The Glass Harp.
I think it was an allusion to drugs.
I think
possibly. Anyways, then Phil Kagi, he's only got like 4 fingers on one hand. Anyways, it's a good story. Just check it out.
Is it the hand he plays with?
Right.
Oh, Phil Kagi. So yeah, looks like there's a YouTube video, Olsen Guitars Shop interview.
That is a good video. It is
10 minutes.
Watching.
I love watching luthier videos. I've watched all kinds. I've watched Resonator. There's a really good one on it. This guy who makes these Resonator guitars in I think North Carolina. Just anytime you're seeing somebody do their craft, pretty great.
Yep. There just needs to be a YouTube channel, just craftsmen.
Yes.
I work with my hands. I make knives. I make axes. I make bows and arrows. Yeah. Just crap like that.
I have a hard time taking those guys seriously, I gotta say.
I'm a man's... Which one? The bows and arrows?
It's just the knife maker. I make knives.
Yeah.
All right. Cool, bro.
It'd be cool to watch videos like that.
So this is gonna sound weird, but if I need to... If I'm really hectic or like kind of jammed in my brain... There's a guy that I watch on YouTube, and is a potter, Simon Leach, and he's got this outdoor pottery thing. What do you call them? Like pottery shed.
Oh.
And you can hear all the birds and all the bugs and everything. And he's got a English accent, and he just talks to you, and he's doing this pot. It's one of those things that, like, after I'm done, I'm like, I feel so good.
Do you feel like all work and no clay makes Todd a dog boy?
Damn, edit that out, you bastard.
I was watching.
That was a good 60 seconds.
I think
composition.
Yeah, you're forming that in the back of your head. I saw it in your eyes, and I didn't catch it. Damn you! All right, Hefe, what you got?
I was watching a video of a craftsman the other day, since we're still on that subject,
Okay.
who was turning on a lathe giant trees, like logs, like giant logs, like 3 feet.
That doesn't sound very giant.
3 to 4 feet logs on a lathe.
A 3-foot log?
If something went wrong,
No,
you would die.
Like
Well, yeah, but I mean,
you.
when you're like these giant
3-4
trees, they're like
diameter.
3 foot.
3 or 4 foot diameter.
Oh, 3-4
by
foot
like,
diameter.
like 8 feet long.
Yikes.
Okay, that's bigger.
On a lathe, turning at how many RPMs, and this thing is just like, and he's coming in with that little chisel, like, ding, ding, hitting just chunks of this thing. It's insane. Go check him out.
Huh?
It's
What
fun.
was he making? A bat?
Well, the one was making a giant front-loaded horn out of some burly maple, which was pretty.
Front-loaded horn.
speakers.
Yeah, it was pretty
That's
awesome.
cool. I want
It was
one.
pretty
Oh,
awesome.
jeez.
But then I just got all these other videos of people turning giant things, which was pretty phenomenal. But as far as boutique guitars,
I think somebody's turning a lathe
I think so.
upstairs on us. Jeez.
it's very soft, though. Don't worry.
Okay, good.
worry.
I can hear it in my earballs.
It's not necessarily a boutique builder, but is a limited.
If you say Trissart, I'm going
I'm gonna
to
say
hit you in the head
Trissart.
with my headphones that I don't have on.
I'm not going to say trust it. Sir guitars.
Okay, tell me more.
SUR.
How do you spell
Yeah,
that?
SUHR.
How do you spell that so the people that are driving can look it up on their Googles?
SUHR. And they had a collection in 2015.
Uh-huh.
And you're going to have to call it up to get the exact wording correctly, but they are a very nature-influenced style.
What the crap is going on with this show? With you guys dragging all the nature and hippie stuff in here?
But it's using all kinds of exotic woods, of course, which is
Really?
my favorite thing.
These don't look...
You're looking at the wrong one.
Wait, I'm looking at the wrong Sir guitars?
Sir 2015.
It's called Sir
Do
2015?
the search for that. Jeez.
Sir
They sell a little bit of everything.
2015?
Collection. There it is, right there.
All right. I'm
They
looking.
do sell a lot of everything. But what
I mean,
I found pretty phenomenal about these is
okay.
They-
All right.
the pickups,
That's so you,
the
dude.
knobs, everything is made out of wood.
You like the wood pickup covers, don't you?
They're not wood pickup covers. They're actually carved out of
a single
wood.
piece of wood, the neck and the body?
Yes.
What? That's so wasteful.
It
and
is
awesome.
wasteful.
That's
Even the freaking tremolo and
That just
electronics
repels
are
me.
made of wood.
that repels me. I feel like I would see like Steve Vai letting that hang by a golden tremolo in his hand with his
I don't
he
think
throws
Steve Vai
his
would
robe
touch
back.
one of these.
It doesn't look a little Steve Vai-esque.
What are you talking about?
Yeah,
you guys are
totally,
crazy.
dude.
Steve
That's
Vai
like
is
the
like custom paint everything to crazy colors.
no.
Yes,
He does all kinds of stuff. That's true. I mean, what you say is true.
it is true.
The things you say are true.
And if you scroll down, just go down to the Telecaster for a second.
Okay, now we're talking. Whoa, yaga. I just threw up in my mouth.
There's some. There are actually some ugly woods, which is.
That's wood for wood's sake.
I like wood safe.
Gosh,
Keep
Why
going.
would
making me
anyone do
throw
that?
up. Yeah, you know what this reminds me of?
No.
And it's funny because I was going to actually bring this up. When you're talking about boutique guitars, I think for whatever reason, that has been I feel like it's been more prevalent in basses.
Definitely. So
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's like, and when you, if you're not looking at a normal or a large manufacturer bass, they look like complete aliens to the basses that are very familiar to us.
This is true.
So fan frets and
Yes,
like
crazy
the
stuff.
jumbo,
Crazy
the jumbo horn, the big giant horn that goes halfway up the neck, but the back of it's all cut out.
Yeah.
And, oh man,
I was going to pick a bass, but there's just,
Yeah.
I'm not.
but I think
impressed with the
that's
custom
so
basses.
interesting. Is like for whatever reason, if you're playing any kind of boutique bass that is not rock oriented, mandatory, it's got to have wood that's been pulled from some black river that fell 200 years ago, that's been mineralized, and all of the knobs and all of the pickups have to be made of burley maple or some crazy
That's what they called me in high school.
burley maple.
Yeah.
That's what they might call your girlfriend. I don't even know what
Thought
that
it
means.
was burlly sausage.
Stupid
They called her
fingers.
the squirrel, quote unquote.
Oh man, because she was always trying to.
Or was it the raccoon? I don't
Yeah.
remember. Anyway.
Okay, so Jeff, you've got you're gonna need some old English for these guitars apparently.
This guy.
Keep going. Dan.
Yeah.
There's some
Still have
swoopy grains in here.
Swoopy grains,
Swoopy grains.
man, it's just so woody.
So if you
They all look the same, dude.
well, so these are the only ones they made. So you can pick which one you
oh,
want.
I get it. Okay,
by
so
the-
this is the stock that they made.
That's all they have.
One piece quilt.
I'm still going down. That looks like a Uli Roth guitar right there, almost. Okay, get it. You like Ibanez's, but didn't want to buy one. Let's see here. I'm trying to scroll down.
Keep
Those
going.
look like Norwegian.
Very interesting looking woods.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You should go on this webpage right now.
yeah.
Put your car over the side of the road.
Yeah, I mean, it is worth looking at just because it's sort of, I mean, there are some very interesting woods being used here.
But
at
just also-
Sewer
They're
That's
known
what
by
you
their
got.
for their quality of build as well. So
lace wood.
you're looking at one of
that
the high
just-
end builders of
No,
mass
let's look at
production.
this thing for real quick here. We're looking at this at one called the Lacewood Modern, and these are all like shredder style guitars. But
You call them all shredder style.
well,
That's
because like they got like
They're-
deep double cutaway, floating tremolo, two humbuckers, a single humbucker, so five,
Locking it.
at least a 5-position.
It's very Strat inspired guitars.
No, I'd say these are super Ibanez-y, man. Right? Chris, back me up on this. Don't leave me
I
hanging.
would agree, but I would say Ibanez is a ripoff of Jackson. So there's a little bit of a Jackson.
Okay.
Note.
So let's split the difference and call them Charvels. Okay, I can't look at any more of this wood here.
That's what I figured.
All
He
right.
said, "What?
Whoa.
I'm sorry."
Okay, so yeah, we got down to the it looks dude, these Telecasters look like they have booty shorts on. That is hilarious. These are really interesting. If you like exotic woods, you will completely like lose your mind on this site.
I've never seen anything like these woods before.
Yeah, that's a lot of wood.
Huh.
What the crap is going on?
Someone turning a 9-foot log on a lathe.
Yeah, it's pretty loud up there. All right. So,
Yeah.
so Jeff, you know, what do these guitars go for here?
Can't remember. You're gonna have to look it up. Yeah, it's kind of in there, but that's all right.
Okay.
If you can find a price, they're upwards of 5. I'm pretty sure 5 to 10.
1,000?
Yeah, I think so. I could be wrong, but if I remember seeing a price on it one time.
There's an interesting video. I mean, I don't know if it's an interesting video. There's a video
I don't
on
know.
the site called The One. The One is the first one that we said we could see Steve Vai in his Technicolor Dreamcoat spinning around holding this by the tremolo. And that we should watch that at some point. There's another one below, the 2015 collection design inspired by nature. And hey, like, I'm sure loads of people love this. I mean, exotic woods, and that's a whole thing, obviously, in guitar culture. And I'm glad that Jeff likes it so much, because that makes one of us.
At least it has a little personality to it. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. I am going to reveal my picks. I say picks because I have
You can't
two.
have more than one.
Well, but I'm making up for our lost knobs today. All right. So the first one, I've had my eyeball on on the internets and stuff. That's how I found them, because I saw a picture posted and I completely lost my mind. I've posted this on our social channels already, just saying how much I love this guitar. Now, granted, never played one, but I'm assuming they're pretty rad. This is a Lincoln guitar from LincolnGuitarCo.com. And the strange thing is, I can't seem to get any model names off of these, which is just, I don't know why. But so the one that attracted me was this combo. It looks like an offset and a telly combined. It's not what you would call a true offset telly.
There's a little bit of a Bo Diddley.
Yeah, they didn't try to make it look exactly like a Jag or a telly. It's a really nice balance. And it's got these pickups on it, which again I can't get a whole lot of information on, but that's okay. These pickups actually are dual pole humbuckers. So one row of the humbucker has got like quarter pounder, think about like a Duncan quarter pounder. It's got those poles, and then the one in front has the grouped poles, and they just look wicked. Just really nicely designed, very simple. And arguably my favorite thing is the fretboard, where they've done the inlays from so first fret is inlaid down to 9th fret, and actually, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 12. Sorry, 12th. So 1st through 12th is inlaid on the top, on the 6th position, and then the remaining inlays are in the 1st string position. So, which is kind of cool, because, and I would actually, I was telling Chris earlier, about a year ago, I was, I guess, bored, and I said, I'm going to design a guitar. And I showed Jeff, and it honestly was almost dead on to this thing.
Some Mustang in there.
There's a little bit of Mustang.
A little bit of Mustang.
A little bit, yeah. I can see it.
Definitely like a retro 50s.
Yeah, but without
vibe to it.
Yeah.
But without just paying knee-jerk homage to it, you know.
Yeah.
Anyways, the neck, when I designed this guitar, it was offset telly style, and I had the fretboard laid out the exact same way. I'm like, just give me 3 through 9. That's all I need. And wanted to do that at some point. I actually thought about taking one of my guitars and actually trying that, seeing what it would look like. I had at the time.
Not terribly hard.
No, I actually had, at the time, I had one without any inlay, so I'm like, that'd be a great one to try. So the only thing is, the one that he has on here has got a Bigsby on it, and I would probably opt for a hardtail, but that's cool. Bigsbys are fun, but I like to abuse it a little bit more. I don't think I'd need a Bigsby, but they've got several other awesome models on here. I wish I knew what they were called. So if you have the opportunity, go check out LincolnGuitarCo.com, and they're obviously on the internet. That's where I found him. He's got a brand new model that he's been showing the build of on Instagram, and it's strange. I think this is something that guys probably identify with, and I'm sure women out there too. But guitars are very car-like in the design, where it's like multiple materials: plastic, metal, wood. There's obviously, the aesthetic appeal with, how the curves interact with the lines, the mechanics. So they feel, it's as close to, like, I feel like they're like akin to hot rods, There's this one that they just built that, again, I don't know the name. They got a great headstock too, and an excellent nameplate. I'm really a fan of this guitar maker.
What do you think of the position of that volume and toggle? They are way back.
They are
on the
and
guitar.
I'll explain that to you.
Why you like it, or why
I like it back there
because you don't hit it.
Yeah, I don't
you're
futz around with that stuff.
Flailer.
I turn it up and let it fly. Yeah. But what's cool about this new one that they built out? It's black, and it's full tuxedo. So it looks like it's got like maybe even an ebony board, and a painted black headstock, and it has a black pick guard, and it's got a black P90 in it. Only one. It is it's like almost like an extended offset that. So it's long. It's a little bit long in the body, almost like a Firebird is long, but the offset points and angles aren't really severe, and they're heavily rounded. Another cool thing that happened is that he basically, it's like it looks like he shaved a front contour, where the like the forearm contour, like on a Stratocaster or something, or another offset, and this also reminded me, when I brought up the car culture thing. It looked like if you've ever seen when they're like they'll shave angles on like a rounded fender. They'll actually shave it. Or think of the Beetle, the Volkswagen Beetle that was released in 99, I think, or 2000. So they came across, and then you started seeing all the other cars where normally it would be rounded. They shaved it and made it
more of a bevel,
made it flat.
So you're talking like beveling versus rounding.
Yeah. So it looks like he's kind of done that to a degree here. The face is completely flat, but then there's this really awesome contour that looks like it's just been shaved. Really nice. I dig it. So anyways, that's a boutique builder that I've had my eye on, and get excited every time that they post something new. LincolnGuitarCo.com. And then the other one that I keep paying attention to is Kauer. I think that's how you say it. Kauer Guitars. Kauer Guitars.
Very similar shape.
Yeah, they're a little bit more true to shapes that we know. They've got like a Firebird style guitar that they call the Banshee. They've got like a Mustang it's called the Arcturus. And they're familiar
Relic
shapes.
One?
I did see that Relic one, and that'll be relevant for the podcast that just came before this. So the shapes are familiar, but they are taking some, doing some cool things with them. They're not completely rip-offs. And there's one called the Super Knot that I think is pretty sweet. That's like $6,800, and it's a looks like a thin line, with one I guess you'd call it an F hole, but it kind of looks like a arrow or something else. Anyways. Anyways, yeah. So like, you know, cool stuff, cool guitars, cool style. And what I do like about them, and something that we tend to focus on here at the Guitar Knobs, is somebody who is doing things their own way, and somebody who is doing them well, that we like, that resonates with us, and also that they're getting in front of us in unique ways or meaningful ways. So I would say that taking us through a build via Instagram or something like that qualifies as that. I think they're right in the middle of a new build on a new Banshee model that they're working on, and it's like this incredible emerald flake that they're doing. And so I think it's great to be let into that process. It's a fascinating thing. It's like anybody who is a guitar enthusiast, at some point, if they have not already, has thought, I bet I could build an awesome guitar, you know? And it's cool to be let in on that. So you kind of get to do that with them. And I personally appreciate that. So big ups to Cower Guitars. It'd be great if we could get any of these guys that we've been talking about on an interview soon. I think it's worth mentioning too that when you're talking about boutique guitars, especially, that the knee-jerk reaction to say, all right, I'm going to build a guitar, it's going to be the most awesome thing ever. And most of the ones that, you know, as we're kind of researching this, most of the ones that we see are completely overdone. Just too much of everything that they like, because now's their opportunity to do it, you know, to do it their own way. That to me is, when I'm looking at it, I'm like, no. You either completely, utterly ripped off something that we already know. So what's the point, really? There's no artistic voice in it, or seemingly no artistic voice, other than the fact that you said, I made this. Or it's taking something and going so over the top with the design and all the embellishments that it just feels, I don't know, ugly is a bit subjective, but
it's very unique, and you need a unique person to appreciate it.
Yeah.
You got to have that same appreciation for what they've done, or it's too foreign.
Yeah. There's a site called Six String Soul that I was checking out, and it's, you know, if you go to it, you see some great guitars, but most of them are like, yeah, seen that.
Ooh, rainbow.
I'm familiar with that. You clearly ripped that off. That's completely insane. Why did you do that? You know, those kinds of things.
I'm telling you, when our recording gear crapped out, I want to start a guitar company that makes epoxy guitars, clear epoxy guitars. They did back in the 80s. But inside of my epoxy guitars,
yeah, the Armstrong ones, right?
I want like scorpions, like dead scorpions and poisonous snakes.
You mean
and
like
stuff.
the scorpions, like the German?
Like a desert scorpion.
Oh, the desert scorpion.
Or like a bunch of black widows or something.
So you want to entomb insects into your...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want there to be dead animals inside the guitar, but dangerous ones that maybe are taxidermied or something that still have poison in them.
Oh, so like rare species that maybe are becoming extinct?
No.
Okay.
Maybe just like common animals like a black widow or a rattlesnake or something.
Huh.
Like an ash borer beetle.
That too.
Like, yeah. Something that everyone can relate to. Dude, that's a rad ash borer beetle acrylic guitar you have.
This guitar's got a bunch of flies in the body. Variety of flies.
So anyways, that's our boutique guitar selection right now. The cool thing is that lots of them are being made all the time, and it seems like there's a new maker that's climbing their way to the top, getting in front of us all the time. So we look forward to seeing more of those revealed in the future. We're going to move to our top 4. I wish we had some kind of cool effect for that, but we don't yet. That's dive. But that's okay. Cool. I'll go with it.
You said cool.
We both did basically submarine sound effects. In a time when I was born.
Wait. We're licensing. We can't.
Okay.
We never finished the song.
Those weren't the right words.
Okay,
so
good.
I think we're okay.
Okay, good.
And it was in jest, so parody law dictates that we're okay.
Okay.
Take that,
And
Michael Jackson.
Different key as well.
Yes, take that, maker of that song. Okay, so listen. Top 4, guys.
Michael Jackson owns the rights, or at least he used to.
That's right.
That's what I was
That's
saying
right.
for there. Anyway.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right. Nerds. So top 4 for this episode is guitar strap of choice.
I passionately and thoroughly endorse Levy guitar straps. Levy.
Why?
They are amazing. So I have had many guitar straps over the years.
Also not an actual qualifier.
Okay, well let me expound. So I've had
Why?
like the fabric
they're
guitar
amazing.
straps, the nylon guitar straps.
Oh, yeah.
I've had super nice, like top end leather guitar straps. And what I have found is nothing beats a really nice suede leather guitar strap.
bleh.
Let me explain why.
Okay.
The suede is supple and grippy. So when you're wearing
That's
it,
awful.
it grips your shirt so your guitar doesn't slide down or fall. And that allows me to dig a little more on the guitar. And so the Levy, they make a lot of guitar straps.
Put your shirt everywhere.
But I have this is true, but I have a Levy suede guitar strap made in Canada, just north of Minnesota, that is just the bee's knees. I love it.
Huh.
So many guitar straps in to finally finding that one.
I actually have one of those at my house that I will just straight up give you because I hate
That
it.
would be great. I'll take it.
Okay. Yeah, so that's really interesting because
So is
I thought the same thing. I was like, oh, this is going to be great because I had a, what was I playing that was pulling my, can't remember what I was playing at the time, but it just kept dropping on me. Oh, no, I had it as my silver SG. Headstock heavy, whomp, hit the floor if you're not careful. Mm-hmm. And because that's what just, what happens. And so I'm like, let me see if I can get a different strap. Got one of those. And any movement I did just shifted my shirt all over the place. I hated it. So I rolled it up and put it in a drawer.
There you go.
I wonder if it's an acoustic thing as well.
I use them for both.
Do you?
Yeah. So maybe it's a T-shirt thing. I don't know.
Could be a T-shirt thing.
It's probably my poly blended T-shirts. It's probably it's that
I was wearing
rayon,
a satin shirt
polyester,
at the time. So
and cotton tri-blend.
interesting.
Anyways.
All right, Levi's. Dig
They're
it.
fantastic.
Okay.
They're handmade. It's an artisan company. They take it seriously.
Is it really?
And they're like leather craftsmen from Scandinavia.
Levi's Leathers.
Oh man, they're so great. I love them.
All right, so you like the kind that is the wide strap with the skinny strap kind of threaded through the notches?
Yes, yeah, it's leather, it's suede, it's sewed up, it's
Then
indestructible.
the back of it's just flapping around. Oh, you can have that, bro.
Yes. They're not that expensive either.
No,
Well-
for leather.
Yeah, for leather,
Hey.
they're not that bad.
Wait.
They're not that bad. Sorry.
Thanks.
Microphone technique.
Jeff, hit me. Hit me with the strap.
I'll hit you with the strap that I don't have, which is
It can't be made out of exotic woods, and Joel
It's not
and,
made
and
out of
Trussart
wood.
couldn't have made it
I
either.
said truss art like one time.
That's right.
You're holding it to me. So I've never found a strap that I liked.
Oh.
Ooh.
So you're still in search of.
I'm still in search of.
Don't do what he said.
So I do have a suede one for my acoustic guitar. That's why I was asking if it's acoustic specific, because I do like the way it holds it in place. Bass guitar has this shoulder like
Like the sheepskin
Cushion.
pad,
Sheepskin.
like the grandma's drive with the.
it's more just a cushion on
Silvery
it,
belt buckles.
Yeah.
which not a big fan of either.
Is it memory foam?
It might be. I might have made it out of
There's
a
another
mattress.
company we can start. Memory.
Yeah. No, they actually that's legit.
Oh, really?
That's legit.
I might try one of those. That might be nice. Mm-hmm. And then I had one that was like super elastic at one point that would bounce.
Oh, like
When you
like
moved.
Nelson.
Oh, those freak me out.
Yeah, that one was horrible.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm still in search of a strap, and I say I probably spend more time trying to get the right strap height than caring about the actual strap. Mm-hmm. So getting the guitar, specifically the bass, at the right height, I struggled with that a lot. To get the right hand position.
You need to watch ScottsBassLessons.com.
I did. I watched a couple different ones, and
I don't no
Yeah.
affiliation, just a fan.
they are great. They're very, very informative. But the idea of sitting down, you should put the strap on, and it should basically be the same level as your sitting position. Is
Yeah,
what they are
that-
talking about. And I do that,
But when you stand up, it's like this is really high,
it's
man.
weird. It's odd. And then especially on bass, because you start getting that L happening on your wrist,
Right.
which causes me all kinds of pain. So height for bass specifically is challenging for me right now. So I've been struggling with height or strap height.
I'm struggling to get your bass low enough.
Yes.
No. No. Edit button. Damn
You
it.
should write a book.
No, that's a short book. Okay, so
They're short quotes.
hey, somebody asked me which one mine is.
Who wants to do that?
Jerks.
Who wants to ask you?
Hey, Todd, what's your favorite strap?
You know what? I too have gone through several types, and the one that I have landed on more often than not, I probably have it on like 6 of my guitars, is
Black satin.
Nights in Black Satin, is the Planet Waves woven guitar strap, comma, black satin. That's the best name that they have for it. It's awesome. It isn't, the whole thing isn't satin. It just has like a embroidered texture, so it's black on black,
Zoom
which
in
is
on that
cool
thing.
because
That's
it's
looking-
not super obnoxious. But
Oh, my baby back.
it's super
that's the song,
soft.
right? Black on
Yeah,
black.
you can't do that.
Sorry.
That's licensed.
Parody.
again.
I'm jesting.
He's gonna get us in trouble. So it's super comfortable,
Huh.
and it works really well. And it's $13.
I have a strict no satin policy for anything in my
Yeah,
life.
you need to change that, dude.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the satin.
Yeah.
Satin sheets.
That
No.
said, while I do like these, and this might sound a little bit weird, but I have a favorite belt. Right? I've had the belt for a long time, and it's a
He keeps adding lots of extra stuff in.
I do. I
They
do.
have extras.
But but I'm going somewhere with this.
I don't know.
Yeah. Anyways, I have this belt, and it's been, worn, and it's got that shiny leather, from the wear. I'm like, this would make a perfect guitar strap. So I think I might actually try to do that.
Good for mandolin straps.
Jimmy
belts and
rig
stuff.
my belt for that.
And you do have mandolin. Funny story. This belt that I'm wearing right now
Yeah.
is the belt I wear every day since sophomore year of high school. I bought it for sophomore year of high
That would
school.
make a great strap.
This is 1998, 1999. Still rocking and rolling.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Nautica, baby. Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay, so...
I have a belt.
It's a braided one, isn't
No,
it?
I have a belt made out of a
Wood?
a bicycle
Out of exotic
tube.
wood?
A bicycle tube.
Do you?
Yeah.
That's terrible.
So I'm thinking of making a guitar strap out of bicycle tubes.
That's not a bad idea. You're into bicycles. That's for the bicycle
steal
tube
that anymore,
podcast.
out
Okay, I got to stop this before it gets out of control. Dudes, thank you.
Indeed.
Chris, thank you so much for joining us. People who are listening, thank you so much for listening. And we'll see you on the next one. Oh, that's it for these knobs. Please join us on Facebook.com/groups/guitar knobs and tell us what you think and share your stories and guitar stuff along with ours. You You can also find us at twitter.com/guitar_knobs and also at our website at guitarknobs.podbean.com.